Welcome to the Productive Life Podcast. In this episode, we're talking about why achieving your goals doesn't actually matter. Welcome to the Productive Life Podcast, hosted by me, Megan Minns. This is the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to be more productive in their business and their personal life. Because as a business owner, your business and personal life are connected, and we can't talk about one without talking about the other. Each week, you'll learn about productivity, organization, personal development, self-care, business strategies, and more. And now, let's get started. I am really excited to be talking to you today about this episode in particular, because so often we talk about achieving our goals, hitting your goals, crushing your goals. And I have been so guilty of talking about goal achievement as well. And the reality is that achieving your goals really doesn't matter. It doesn't actually reflect what's most important. So I'm really excited to dig into this today. But before we go any further, I want to go ahead and remind you about the free video training that you can get instant access to right now. It's the Intuitive Execution Framework training. And in this training, you're going to learn exactly how you can incorporate more fun and joy and self-care into your life so that you can feel more fulfilled, more energized, and get more done as well. So you can go access that instantly right now by going to meganminns.com/framework, and you'll get access to that free video training as well. Okay, so let's start by talking about why we keep thinking that achieving our goals is the most important thing. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Do you feel like you grade yourself sometimes on achieving your goals? Like it's a pass or a fail. And this goes for both your career, your business, your personal life. So often we feel like we fall behind, we don't hit them, and that means we are a failure. We fail the class. We don't get the grade we want. We didn't achieve our goal. And it makes us feel really guilty. But we have been trained and taught that achieving your goals is how we track our success. It's how you grade yourself. You are a successful person if you hit your goals, and you are an unsuccessful person if you don't hit your goals. But the reality is that is not true at all. Because even if you do hit your goals, it's not actually a reflection of successfulness, fulfillment, or happiness. I have talked to plenty of clients who have actually hit their goals, hit them early, had these huge wins, but they felt the same as they did before they hit their goal. They didn't feel anything different, even if they took the time to celebrate. Ultimately, hitting that goal didn't make them more fulfilled, and it didn't make them happier. So you can actually hit and achieve your goals without feeling more fulfilled or successful or happy. And similarly, if you don't hit your goal, you can actually still be fulfilled and happy without hitting your goal. So whether you hit and achieve your goal or not doesn't reflect if you've been successful. Because what if you aimed to make $5 million because that sounded crazy and you made $1 million? Or if you aimed to make $1,000 and you made $800, these are still huge accomplishments. And depending on your expectations when you went into the process, you may feel so freaking excited and happy and fulfilled and successful and like you're winning, even if you don't hit the goal. So it's just not an accurate way to measure your success. And it's definitely not a reflection on your fulfillment or happiness. It doesn't matter which way you go. It's not actually accurate. So the fact that we continue to assume that achieving our goals is how we measure our success and our happiness and our fulfillment, and we keep thinking, as soon as I hit this milestone, then I'll be happy. It's just not the way it works. It all goes both ways. I have done both. I have not hit goals, but felt so freaking good and fulfilled and proud of myself and happy and at my core, truly fulfilled. And there are other times where I have surpassed goals and it didn't matter. It meant nothing. It was fine. It was no big deal. It didn't fulfill me. It didn't make me happier. So it's just not an accurate way to track anything about your life. And in particular, successfulness, fulfillment, or happiness. So if you're on board with this, if that all makes sense, then let's talk about how we can reframe this, because we still kind of fall back into this habit of feeling attached to achieving our goals. So the first thing we need to do is reframe this. Life is not a race. It's not a competition. Your journey doesn't have a finish line. Truly, I want to go into this a little bit more detail. Your journey of life never has a finish line, right? There's not a point where you've suddenly hit this superficial level of success where you just, wipe your hands and you're like, I'm done. And you sit back and you do nothing else. That's really not the way it works. We really don't have this finish line. It's artificial to think that you do. And so if there's no finish line, we're not racing against ourselves and against other people. It's not a competition. No one wins against one or the other or loses against someone else. It's really a journey. And the whole thing is to enjoy the journey. It doesn't have to be a race. There isn't a limited amount of time. You don't have to stress out about getting somewhere as quickly as humanly possible. It's more important that you learn to enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, enjoy your life. That is the most important part. So in order to let go of this goal achievement focus and this results-driven focus, you have to start to embrace that and just chill out and be patient. That doesn't mean you can't take fast action and be a quick mover and get places quickly, but it means that we remove that internal pressure to get somewhere as quickly as possible. And when we don't, we feel super far behind. So we need to reframe this idea of what's going on. We're not on a racetrack. We're on a nice outdoor trail. And so enjoy the trail. You enjoy the trail. You can run, you can ride a horse down the trail, or you can stroll. You can do whatever you want. It's your trail, but it's not a racetrack where there's winners and losers. It's truly a trail and everyone's looks different. So just enjoy the walk, enjoy the ride, and be patient with yourself. So if this is what doesn't matter, if achieving our goals doesn't matter, what does matter? How do we capture this? What do we aim for? We should aim for fulfillment. We should aim for personal satisfaction. We should aim for fun. What feels fun? When you're debating two different things, which one sounds more fun? Do the fun one. Why not? Do the fun one. Build memories and experiences. Those are the things that matter. You get to decide what matters. You don't even have to listen to me. Maybe you hate fun. I doubt it, but you get to decide what does matter to you. What does fulfillment look like for you? And maybe you don't know perfectly, but maybe you have an inkling and you could probably follow that inkling. What would be success for you? What is happiness? What brings you happiness? What does matter? You get to decide. It doesn't have to be your goals. It doesn't have to be achieving your goals. But I do want to say, I still believe goal setting is critical. So this is not a conversation about goals being bad or goal setting being destructive. I think the focus on goal achievement is what needs work, but setting goals is critical. Setting goals, my friend Bev told me this and I love it. Setting goals helps you make sure you're facing the right direction. That way, when you're moving forward on your journey, on your trail, you make sure you're heading in the direction you want to. But we should also be setting goals that feel really fun and exciting. When I'm talking to a client, if they're debating the realistic goal and this big goal, I ask them which one would be more exciting to look at and think about and focus on and aim towards and walk towards. And they usually say the big one. And so I'm like, just go for the big one. You'll probably end up closer to it than if you aimed lower. But if you lose the detachment from achieving your goals, there's no issue with aiming high. It is just going to motivate you and excite you and propel you and be this really positive experience. And you're going to be so proud of yourself, whether you actually hit that number or not. And remember, with goal achievement, so often we tie it into timelines. You have to hit this goal within 90 days or a year or 3 years. And it's just not true. Does it really matter if you hit a goal in 90 days versus 120? Does it really matter? Does that really mean you are a failure? No. So you should reframe this whole thing. It's not a race. It's not a competition. You are on your own unique journey. And you get to decide what matters to you. You get to decide what's fulfilling, what brings you happiness, and what success looks like for you. And remember to keep setting those goals so that you do have a direction to go in and you're going in the right direction and following your journey in the right direction. But we don't have to stress or race to achieve and accomplish these goals we have our eye on. I hope this was helpful for you. This has been incredibly eye-opening for me as I start to realize that achieving your goals doesn't matter and stepping away from the goal achievement language in my own life and career and business as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to hear back from you on Instagram stories. Feel free to tag me and let me know what you thought about this episode, if there were any takeaways you really enjoyed. And don't forget to sign up for that free video training where you're going to learn the intuitive execution framework and what you need to do in order to feel more fulfilled, more energized, and have more fun in your life and work. And you can get that by going to meganmins.com/framework. And that link is beneath this episode as well. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Productive Life Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would share your biggest takeaway on your Instagram stories or wherever you hang out. This helps me understand what you find the most helpful so that I can make more episodes and resources like this. If this podcast has helped you at all, please take just 1 minute to leave a review on iTunes so that we can help spread the word about the Productive Life Podcast with others who may enjoy it. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to get the latest episodes sent to you directly. To learn how to work with me one-on-one or get instant access to freebies, trainings, templates, workshops, and more, be sure to go to meganmins.com right now. I'll see you in the next episode.